Hi everyone, it's Joe here from Lawn Solutions Australia, and today I'm on the banks of the Hawkesbury River just outside Green Life Turf in Windsor, New South Wales, and I'm joined by Josh Muscat of Green Life Turf. Josh, how you going?
Good, Joe, how are you?
Good, thank you. Now, tell us a little bit about this project that we're standing on here. What's this all about?
So this project here is a remediation or flood erosion control project that's come about from Turf New South Wales, just to showcase turf and what it does for erosion control. And they wanted a live example or a full-blown scale of an example of what turf can do for erosion, and this is where we are here.
So there's good reason of doing it here. Obviously you've had some terrible floods over the last few years. Tell us a little bit about what this area looked like before it's found its current state.
I think it was the 21 floods that we had. So we had 4 consecutive floods over around that period, real big floods, and in 21 where we're standing we lost all the soil here. And you'll see up the top we've got an old barn that's built by the convicts, almost got washed away into the river. So pretty much from the barn, the soil where we're standing now dropped 8 to 9 metres down to river level, and all this was nothing here.
Washed away.
Washed away. One big
So
stump,
it was a vertical bank pretty well, was it?
Pretty much, yeah. So those trees that you see in the river line there, they used to be on our like on the bank of the land here, and with all the rain and all the floods, they literally just slumped straight into the middle of the river. So the bank just shifted away, and all the soil went with it. So we're just left with all this area that was just one big hole, real big dangerous erosion.
And obviously it looks a lot different now. It's built up a lot. What kind of material has gone into making it look like it is now?
So the only way you can fill an area like this is being in like registered clean fill. All right, that's got a bit of clay in to compact, because a lot of the problems we had previous year where we done lighter remediation work, to fix pump sites and that, if you don't bring in a material that can bind together and actually, make a good solid base, something like a shale that doesn't really pack down, you won't have really good erosion control to stop it from eroding from wash it away. So we had that. We had to fix up access to a pump site, and at the time we had access to like a blue shaly material, which we put in. We done our pump tracks with that, and on that big flood that we got all damage, we had a lot of local rain. And with the natural soil here, it's a very sandy, loamy soil. And what happens when it gets too much water, it just pretty much becomes slop, so it just liquefied. And then because we had the shale on top that didn't really have that binding properties to it, it literally just had too much weight. The softer soil underneath just slumped away.
Type of fill is really important.
100%, It needs to be able to lock in and really pack down, right, in order to be able to handle it. And then once we had that, slumping sort of happen where you lost the thing, it just starts this big erosion. And as you'll see here, it went from all the way from our pump, pretty much a stretch of the river here, and it went from where we stand, like a bit further down that way, all the way into the neighbouring property, and took more of their farmland there. So just once the river picks up a bit of momentum, it'll just create a whirlpool, any sort of erosion, and just take everything with it. So the only thing we could sort of fill it back up with was a clean fill that had that clay properties into it, and each layer, 200-300 layers, gets pad foot rolled down to pack it into what's here, all right, and make a real solid base to it. And we had to build from the river and work our way up, and then it's tied into whatever soil was left on there. So they keyed into there. So a lot of work went in there. And, you see now we can get trucks and machines and stuff down here.
It's solid now,
When we first started, the first bit of machines in here, you couldn't even get a small excavator down. That's how bad it was. So they had to come with 30-ton excavators and start making an access track down, and it's gone from there. And that was 2 years in the making, doing that work. And a lot of what we do here is to protect everything around it. That barn was our main priority for us on the farm. It's a bit of history that we didn't want to lose, so we had to protect that access as best we can. But unfortunately, until the floods finish and you can't fix anything there or repair anything there until your banks are good.
And you say a 2-year project. How many tons or truckloads of dirt do you think have been put in here?
I looked up the other day. We're about 7,200 trucks over that 2-year period of different of the material coming in.
And it's an incredible amount of dirt, and the way you've had to compact each layer is a credit to you. It's not an easy task. It's not a quick task. And the turf variety. So obviously this is a turf project at heart, isn't it? To prevent erosion. We know turf has great erosion controlling capabilities, but What are the species you've selected here, and how much grass is actually in this project?
Yep, so in total we've got just over 5,000 square metres of turf on this project. And there's 4 species of varieties to showcase different situations, I guess. What we're standing on here is Tiftuff Bermuda. We've got Cergrange Zoysia, Zoysia australis, and then Sir Walter DNA certified buffalo at the top as well. So I tried to put them in, different situations where they would work. So where we're standing here, it's more of a large area where my irrigation doesn't necessarily reach 100%. So I wanted something that was water conservative and can handle that sort of drought tolerance. Hence why we went for the Tiftuff. And to get that quick root establishment and hold the bank as quick as possible. Cergrange, I went for this here for the cosmetic side of things. That beautiful aspect that Cergrange delivers. This beautiful fluffy leaf, and when you leave it unmown, how neat and tidy it looks.
It looks so good at the moment, doesn't it?
It looks unreal. How much actual erosion control that helps with bites, nothing moves from it. It's really solid, and you get this beautiful look where you don't have to mow it. And then Zoysia australis to offer a similar maintenance for Zoysia's type, where you're not mowing as often as say something like a cooch in terms of where you didn't mow, but still offer a reasonable look where it's unmown. And then our Sir Walter DNA certified up in the top, create that park-like feel. And there's a sample there that will be left unmown, so you can see how it looks.
See how it looks. And what have you seen so far between the varieties? What sort of stood out to you the most?
The biggest thing was Tiftuff establishing quicker as it does. Grabs root really quickly, even in areas where it dried out.
So that's the Tiff. When I walk down here straight away to it, this stands out to me the most, which is Cergrange Zoysia. What have you seen here with Cergrange that stood out for you, other than obviously the beautiful look?
Mate, this surprised me how well it, you look at that there, it ain't budging. With the watering that I got onto it, I was really happy with the way it established. It established just as quick as any other varieties here. Probably not quite as quick as Tiftuff, but just as quick.
It can grow when the conditions suit, can't it?
It can, it loves that humidity. But the way it just grabbed to the ground, it's what I was really surprised with. Even after a couple of weeks of growth there, mate, you couldn't pull it off the ground. So really, really quick establishment to it in terms of for what we're doing. The challenge I had here was just get an even amount of watering with the sprinklers I've got. So I had to set up like soaker hoses on one end where it wasn't quite getting enough water and give it that syringe watering on this batter here. But I was really, really impressed with it.
And the Australis, Josh, you mentioned it was another good low maintenance alternative to Cergrange in this project, but what have you found from it so far?
Yeah, same thing, established really well. I think what I'm trying to showcase here is, all right, yes, there's erosion control on the batter, but also, we're talking a park situation where you are mowing it and maintaining it, and to showcase the different varieties and what they can do. But what I've noticed with the Australis is, you can treat it like Sir Walter say, very simple, mow it every once a week or so, or every couple of weeks, and you get this beautiful green colour underneath. So you can see where it's standing, just looks lush and beautiful, and that's why I love the Australis. I'm a big fan of it.
It's actually a great contrast here between Zoysia varieties. Like, it's a personal preference thing. You can get really good low maintenance benefits, but do you like a fine leaf or do you like a coarser leaf? What do you think is, I know they've all been pretty good in their own ways, but what do you think is probably the pick of them in a situation like this?
Look, if they had the water, access to good supply and consistent water, and the budget for it, I'd say Cergrange is the pick of the crop. You can mow it, maintain it if you need to, but when you leave it unmown like that, nothing else can give you that neatness and at the same time holding durability that sort of Cergrange delivers. So that'd be my pick of the crop. But obviously, like I said, water's the biggest thing. Don't have access to water, maybe Tiftuff will be more of a suitable option. But then it's going to be the trade-off with Tiftuff growing quicker, and you're going to get on the unmown situation, you're going to get more of a fluffy, bit more sparser look, whereas
you can't beat that look there. It's unreal. Now, it shows that the real feature of this project, though, is there is different options now, different solutions for different instances. Like if you, like Josh says, have a project that doesn't have a lot of access to water, you can get a fantastic look out of Tiftuff. If you do have access to water, and the visual aspect of it is really important to you, Cergrange is just a beautiful grass, and you've also got the intermediate choices with Australis and Sir Walter DNA certified as well. But this is a large-scale project, obviously, but you can think domestically with grasses like this, can't you? And have batters and lumps and that sort of stuff in your yard and get some wonderful look with these products. So it's a credit to Josh, it's a credit to the Green Life team for putting together something like this. 7,200 truckloads, 5,000 metres of grass in about 2 years of his life. And what's come out of the end of it, I think we're going to get some really good data over the next few years. So if you want to learn more about it, you can always get in touch with the Green Life Turf team and you'll be able to learn more about this project. But otherwise, thanks for showing us today, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
Thank you. Cheers.